So not to be outdone, and in preparation for today's conference, I did what Bob did. I said to myself, I should really join Facebook. So just last week, I sat down in my home office, and I opened my laptop, and I said, here I go, www.facebook.com. And I didn't even make it past the intro page before one of my chickens started cackling in the backyard. And it was the virtual world interrupted by the egg laying call. So I ran out to the coop and I found one egg. Just one egg from my flock of 3 oak girls, a perfect brown egg, once poached and sitting on a piece of Acme bread. It was the perfect distraction to my mission. Breakfast from the garden, such a simple thing, the chicken and the egg. Woody Allen once said that he hated reality, but it was the only place to get a good steak. So over breakfast, I was thinking about this pending summit and the myriad of talks and people and information that would be presented, discussed and debated. What's it all about? Why do we feel so compelled to get together and to discuss these issues? Why do we leave our farms and our families and our chickens to come to Portland to listen to each other? I'm sure there are many answers to that question, and now that the conference is approaching a close. But in retrospect, at the time, my concerns were much simpler. Who was going to take care of my chickens while I was gone? And thank God this wasn't happening during peach season, because nothing Bob could do could drag me away from my peaches. I have one white babcock in my backyard, and it's not a free-range peach. It's completely enclosed in wire because everything wants to eat it, most particularly the squirrels. It's very strange. So, Bob was lucky that we were doing this now. It's early. Now that I've spent a few days here listening, talking, and engaging with many of you, I've recognized that there are many powerful things at play that really stir me on a deep level. And I'm sort of reawakening my passion for the land, birds, the greater connection we all have with the ecosystem. And it has provided some perspective on the path I've chosen. Let me digress a bit. At 19, I made a brief attempt at acting school, which made my parents very happy, and it seemed like the obvious path, but it proved to put the spotlight on me and not on the things I was interested in. It also fostered an unpleasant phenomenon my siblings and I refer to as life in the fishbowl, which is a quick way to describe growing up in the shadow of famous parents. I must admit, when I survey the landscape of possible careers I could have chosen, all would have, out of necessity, an altruistic component. Another product of growing up with bohemian beatnik parents. My mother would always say, noblesse oblige, those who have give to those who do not. As examples, I think my mom and dad were really onto something as far as green businesses, because when you think about doing anything in this world that has a significant influence, making something, even quote good things, like an electric car, or low-income housing, or solar panels, organic cookies. It's almost impossible to do that without exploiting something along the way. There's always a price to pay that is rarely reflected in the balance sheet. Whether you are knowingly or not exploiting labor, the air, the water, natural resources, and people are often taking a hit, even when making something really good. All of us in this room, for example, just getting here, no one is exempt from this destructive economy. But when you think about actors, or writers, or activists, artists in general, whose medium is expression, an idea to convey a feeling, to influence people, and to touch people, those true artists, many of whom are my heroes, like Rachel Carson, Edward Abbey, Bob Scowcroft, my mother and father, they really only exploit themselves and to a degree their families to do what they do. There's no copper mining, no cooling towers, or nanotechnology required for a great actor to get up on the stage and influence thousands of people.